Welcome back, everyone, to another week of destruction. We're here. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Today, we're going to be talking about Heroes of the Storm, the new ranking system. A lot of hype around this. Diablo Season 4 hits, and Steam's ridiculous first world problems. Which game to choose, Mad Max or Metal Gear Solid? Thanks, Steam. Thanks a lot. Gstar coming just around the corner, the hub of news for Lineage Eternal and Lost Ark. On the same note, Smilegate shuts down one of their platforms. And lastly, we're going to finish up with a Q&A from last week's questions. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Elvis. Let's start unpacking this week's episode. So there's been a shitload of drama regarding the ranking system. Now, a lot of this is hyped by the community, but at the same time, the system does feel really poor at the moment. And I've experienced this I've experienced this myself. Now, this is definitely not a, hey, you know, I'm a particular type of player, I should have ranked at this type of level. To be honest, I don't really care because you can actually climb in higher ranks, although it is exceptionally hard with the new system that they have. Right now, it seems to be favoring shorter games, win ratios, rather than individual players and the way that they perform. For example, if you're running in a very practiced, highly strategized team, you know, you're going to win very quickly and win a lot, and that's really great. The system actually rewards you for this. But on the other hand, you know, when I'm not playing with the big Ds, I do play by myself, and yeah, you can perform really well in a game despite the stats that you achieve. And what I mean by stats is kill ratios, amount of deaths, experience gain, siege damage, all of this stuff. This doesn't look like it's being calculated, and I know from personal experience, I tend to do really well on that level. Yeah, my ranking actually got put very, very low. I was actually quite disappointed that this system kind of performed in this way. Now, I guess you could argue at the same time, you know, certain characters have certain advantages. For example, if you're playing the Lost Vikings, you're always going to be number one on top when it comes to experience, and vice versa when it comes to a healer. But I think that they can definitely balance this out. They've got millions of games. Statistically, they can generally work it out. In fact, the ranking system definitely needs some love. It's overhyped by the community right now as being horrible, but it definitely does need some tweaking, and I expect that this will happen in the future. I've got full faith in the developers of Heroes of the Storm. Now, Diablo 3 Season 4 has officially hit, introducing so many features, which I'm sure you guys are aware of. I cannot speak more highly of a patch than this one. The Kanai's Cube is just adding a lot more depth to the game. To be honest, I'm kind of hanging out for this year's BlizzCon. I want to see some new content. I want to see a new class, a new act. BlizzCon, you better bloody pull some Diablo 3 goodness out of your gross underwear and present it to us all to get stuck back into again. That just went oddly sexual and weird, didn't it? Now, I bet you guys thought the whole episode would be about the new YouTube gaming app. Well, it's not. I'm going to make this as quick as possible. YouTube released a new gaming app. If you're unaware of this, just Google YouTube Gaming. It's also for browsers as well. You may think that Google owns Twitch. They did bid on it, but fell short. Amazon owns Twitch, and this is their way of coming up with a solution to this. I think it's a really cool system. It's definitely going to favor YouTubers who live stream games that aren't popular. For example, if you search, say, Lost Ark, a lot of my videos do come up, but at the same time, if someone else was live streaming Lost Ark or talking about the game, it'd probably favor them more. So it's a really cool platform. I like it. That's it. I'm done with this. Now, one of the biggest questions that I guess a lot of you guys have been facing right now, and that is Mad Max versus Metal Gear Solid, assumingly that you didn't pre-order the game. I know it's tough, guys. Come on, bring it in. Come on, let's just hug this one out. Now, let me talk a little bit about both of these games. Number one, they're priced at the exact same price point, and they came out at the same time. They're definitely competing. The other side is that the media has not smashed Mad Max, but really made it look like a pretty bad game so far. And in fact, I feel like this is a horrible misuse of the press. It's really easy. Mad Max is kind of like the ugly kid in the corner that you can poke at. And, you know, Metal Gear Solid is kind of like the popular kid. It's got so much history. So many people love the franchise. The reason why I dislike this is because it's clearly pandering towards people who like this game, rather than Mad Max, a brand new franchise. When you actually compare, you know, on an objective level, the game quality between the two, both are absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that's what's kind of going on. Sick of your bloody 30-minute Let's Plays with the settings menu. Either way, both games look very interesting. I, for one, will not be getting into Metal Gear Solid, mainly because it's a shooter. I'm interested in the game, it would be fun to play, but it's not really me. Mad Max, on the other hand, I am into. I have downloaded and have played the first couple of minutes to make sure that I can record it. And it is sexy as, I don't care what the press is saying about this title. I don't know, guys. You know, they can write a game review based on a pre-build of the game and all of this bullshit. It looks really fucking cool. I can't wait to share it with you guys. Now, Gstar is coming up just around the corner, and previously, it seems to be a hotspot for Lineage Eternal and Lost Ark announcements. Check out 2014. Oh, I shouldn't even say that. You guys have seen the footage a million times, so have I. But on that note, yeah, I really think that this is going to be a very good opportunity for both of these guys to release some new information. Then again, we did get let down pretty heavily regarding E3. That was kind of a disaster, but Gstar just seems like the place to be to announce this kind of stuff. So I am expecting at least something regarding Lost Ark and Lineage Eternal as well. So this should be really cool. Now, on a bit of a negative note regarding Smilegate, the developers of Lost Ark, they shut down one of their platforms that actually runs certain games called GamBooz. And unfortunately, yeah, it just wasn't really that popular. This is not a big deal. This is just a platform. It has no reflection on the game of Crossfire or Lost Ark on that hand. Based on, you know, Crossfire's success in China, we will not see Smilegate fall down anytime soon. These guys they kind of got it nailed. And yeah, so don't worry about Lost Ark. When you hear about this kind of stuff, it'll be just fine, I can promise. Okay, so this week's Steam highlights doesn't even really need to be said. Mad Max and Metal Gear Solid 5, both great titles. If you're into shooters, go for Metal Gear Solid. If you're into, I don't know, playing games in general, check out Mad Max. Now, last week I reached out to you guys if you have any questions that you wanted to ask me for the episode, and yeah, we've got a couple more, and they're pretty interesting too. You guys are fucking hilarious sometimes, but nothing too outspoken here, so let's get into it now. Seb4 STI, hope that's not a sexually transmitted infection. 49666, and I hope you're not a Satanist either. Anyway, enough poking fun, I'm just kidding. And he or she asks, why no Lineage 3 news? Well, I did kind of hold off from Lineage Eternal for a couple of reasons. Number one is that a lot of you guys probably know more about the game than I do, and I have been educating myself to get to a point where I feel confident enough to talk about the game. It's different to Lost Ark, where, you know, I just analyze that game to death and what we have available. Lineage 3, on the other hand, is different. But anyway, yeah, I did just recently start covering Lineage Eternal. Expect more from the channel. Now, Scout Creed has asked, by the way, how are you doing, man? Will Lost Ark be an open world like Mu Online? Where can you meet with people? And is there a chance that there will be a central city? I think that there's definitely going to be a central city, but this is going to be community driven. People will gravitate to a certain city. I think that we will see a very similar system to Ragnarok, and it will definitely be open world rather than a linear hub experience. That's just my personal opinion about it. It is a proper open world MMO. They might have certain cities triangulated to give the illusion of an open world. I don't think that's going to be the case. It's going to be walk anywhere, do anything. So if you guys got any questions for next week's episode, there's a really good chance that I'm going to answer them. You guys are savages, you filthy animals in the comments. Be kind to one another. My name is Elvis. This is Friend and Machine. Thanks for joining me as always. Join me very soon for some Mad Max. I can't wait. I'm going to get off the mic right now and play it. Expect that pretty soon, maybe even today on the same date. Catch you next time. See you guys.